Today we're going to learn lesson 8.2, perimeters of composite figures. First, we're going to talk about what is a composite figure. A composite figure is made up of triangles, squares, rectangles, semicircles, and other two-dimensional figures. So it's just a bunch of shapes that are added together. So for example, we have two here. This one's made up of a square and a triangle. That would be a composite figure. And this one, which we can somewhat recognize from our warm-up on Thursday, is a semicircle and a rectangle. Okay. We're going to be finding the perimeter of composite figures, and to do that, we're going to find the distance around the figure. Okay, so that's going to be the distance around these composite shapes. Notice how those dashed lines in there are not being added into the perimeter because the perimeter is the distance around, and this distance right here and this distance right here are not a part of the distance around the figure. These are just here so that we can label some dimensions to help us out. All right, to find the perimeter of composite shapes, there's just 4 steps that we have to go through. The first thing you're going to do is identify all the shapes that are in the figure. Okay, this helps us know how to find some of these side lengths. For example, this arch in the semicircle. It's important to know this is a semicircle or half of a circle so that we can find that circumference and divide it by 2. So then once we identify all the shapes, we can fill in the missing side lengths using information given in the picture or formulas. So for circumference, we'd have to use a formula unless it is given in the picture. We are then going to add all side lengths together to get that outside perimeter. Okay. Last but not least, we do have to label our answer with the correct units that are given in the problem. Okay. So let's move on to some examples. In example 1, I see a semicircle and a triangle. Okay. We know that this distance right here is 8. This distance right here is 6. So we're going to have 8 plus 6 since we add all the distances together. And then we're not sure what this distance of that arc is, or that semicircle. Okay, so we do have to do some math for that. To find the circumference of a circle, it's pi times diameter. Remember when we're showing our work, we always start off with that formula. So the circumference equals pi times, and our diameter for this circle is 10. So we take C equals, and then we take 3.14 times 10, which gives us 31.4. Okay, now that we know that this distance of the whole circle is 31.4, we then have to divide it by 2 to just get this half circle. Okay, so we get the circumference equals, and we take 31.4 divided by, when we divide those, we get 15.7. Okay, so now we know that this distance right here is 15.7. So we can add it to our 8 and our 6 in order to get that total perimeter. So when we add 15.7 plus 6 plus 8, we get 29.7. And I'm just adding in the P equals so that I know that this is perimeter and this is where I did my circumference work. This makes it very easy for someone who's looking at our work, such as Miss Lakin when she's grading our tests, to know what work belongs where. Okay, our last step is to add in those units, and those are feet. All right. Let's move on to example 2. Example 2 wants you to find the perimeter of the field, which is this inside part. Don't do this on your picture, but I'm just going to show you what we're talking about. We want to find the perimeter of just this inside part in here. Okay. All right, so we're going to start by identifying the shapes that we see in this picture. Well, right here I see a semicircle. Right here I see a semicircle. And right here I see a rectangle. Okay, once we identify those shapes, we can now fill in some missing side legs. I'm going to go and erase that so that our picture is not all drawn over and it's a little easier to see those lengths. Okay. We know that this side right here is 100. Okay, so we know that this side over here, since it's a rectangle, is also 100. We know that the radius of the circle is 32. And we know the radius is half of the diameter, so we know the whole distance across here is going to be 64. Now that's not part of our perimeter, but we will need that when we're finding our circumference. Okay, so this also is going to be 64. Again, it's not part of our perimeter, but we will need that when finding our circumference. Okay, then also for our perimeter, we have that semicircle piece and this semicircle piece. So our perimeter is going to be everything in blue. Okay, notice how we're not adding in these pieces because they're not the outside of the figure. So right away I know I have 100 plus 100, and I have these two sides already done. And then I'm going to look at these two semicircles. What do I notice? They're the exact same. Okay, so we can do this once and not divide by 2, or we can do it twice and just add them together. It's up to you, and you'll see what I mean when we're doing the work. Okay, so we need to find the circumference of this whole circle first. So circumference equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals pi times 64. Circumference equals, and we're going to take 3.14 times 64, which is 200.96. Okay, but this circumference that we just totaled is for that whole circle. Okay, and this is what I was talking about before. We could divide this by 2, okay, to get 100.48. And we know that this is also the same because the radius, or sorry, excuse me, the diameter is the same. So we could add 100.48 plus 100.48. Okay, or we could have not done this last step, not divided by 2, since we're going to notice that 100.48 plus 100.48 is this 200.96, since we have both pieces of the circle in the picture. Okay, so now we're going to add these values up together to get that perimeter. So our perimeter is going to equal 100 plus 100 plus 100.48 plus 100.48, or 100 plus 100 plus 200.96, and we are going to get 400.96, look at those units, meters. We have now found the perimeter of all sides of the shape. All right, let's move on to example number 3. All right, in this example, we have all rectangles. Okay, so the first thing that we do, once we know that they are all rectangles, okay, is fill in any lengths that we have missing. Well, we have this length, good, good. We have that one, so we're missing this one, and this one, because then we have the rest. Okay, so here's where we need to do some thinking. If this whole side is 20 feet, that means this whole side is 20 feet. Okay, we notice that this part right here is 11. This part right here is 3. This part we don't know, but this side is 3. So when we're finding this missing piece right in here, I'll do that in a different color so you can kind of see that. When we're finding that blue piece right there, we can add 3, excuse me, 3 plus 11, and subtract it from 20 because they all need to add up to be 20 since it's a rectangle. So we do 3 plus 3, 3 plus 3 plus 11. We get 17. Okay, so 3 plus 3 plus 11 equals 17. We then take 20 minus 17 and get this side length right here to be 3. Okay. So now we're going to use the same reasoning skills to find this piece right here. Okay, if we make this a rectangle, this side up here is 12, so we know that this whole bottom piece has to be 12. Well, if we look down here, this piece right here is 3, so this piece right here is 3. So 3 plus this missing piece has to add to equal 12. Okay, so we would take 12 minus 3, and we would get 9. So we now know that this piece right here is 9. All right, last but not least, we have to find the side right here. And we're going to do the same reasoning as before. We're going to make this into a rectangle. Okay. We know that this piece right here is 5, and this piece right here is 3. So 5 plus 3 makes this side equal to 8. Well, if this side is equal to 8, that side also has to be equal to 8. This piece right here is 3, same on the top. So we know this has to be 5. We can also know that if we made a smaller rectangle, okay, so if we just cut it off here, we see that this bottom piece right here is 5, so this top piece right here also has to be 5. All right, so now that we have every single side length labeled, we can just add them all together to find the perimeter. Now I'm going to do this in a different color so that it kind of stands out. So our perimeter is going to equal, and I'm going to cross them off as I write them down in my equation so that I make sure that I get them all. So I have 20 plus 3 plus 11 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus another 3 plus 9 plus one more 3 plus 12. And when we add all those numbers up, we're going to get that perimeter. So now we can plug that into our calculator and we can do 20 plus 3 plus 11 plus 5 plus 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 9 plus another 3 plus 12. When we add all that up, we are going to get 74. Last up, we just have to put that unit on. So we are going to label it with feet, and we are done. As always, please write any questions that you have over on the side next to those examples so that you remember to ask me in class. If you are confused, please pause the video and rewatch any parts that you need to see again.